Little Flower, coming at you from Houston, Texas. So, welcome to my channel. If you've watched any of my videos, then you realize that my topics are involving gang stalking and gaslighting. About me, I thought I'd share a little background data on my experiences with gang stalking. I'm proud to say I am 50. When you get to 50, you get the privilege and honor of tooting your own horn. And within context of balance, of course. But I have been bred to stand against the grain, to make lemonade whenever I had been dealt lemons. And so within the context of gang stalking and gaslighting, my friends, I am sorry to say, for those of you who are seeking support, you found it. I am here to support you. But I'm sorry you're going through this. However, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. And together, we will hold hands, and I will teach you what I have learned. So, this makes me Chief Little Flower.
And you're my people.
And I'm your people. So, here's the deal. Whenever I was about 24, I was gang stalked really, really hard by an ex-boyfriend by the name of Oliver Eden Bridges. Shout out if you wanted him dead, okay? He did that to a lot of people. And guess what? He did. He died around the age 35, 36. How do I know? Because I came across a national registry index for Social Security that had him listed if they had been reported dead. And then so I found that whenever I was about 36, and I put his name in there, and I knew his birth date, and then I found him. And then I searched him, and I found some of his obituary. So I don't know if it was asthma that did him in, or if it was one of those filthy cards that finally capped him with lead because he crossed and burned, incidentally, a lot of bridges. So, but yeah, this guy, he actually, his father, what was his father's name? Can't remember. I'm sure it would come to me. I'm sure it was coached by him to gang stalk me and gaslight me. I have a very sharp and astute mind. I often play up the squirrel, because to an extent I am a squirrel, but I understand that my persona and my presence may be somewhat disconcerting to others. So I play into that to make others feel comfortable around me. So in a sense, I kind of dim my shine, and I'll stop doing that. But also, it has served me kind of well, because I'm very nice, I'm very polite, and incidentally, people take that as a sign of weakness. So I may be very nice, and it may take me a little bit to kindly give you the boundary on how to behave around me. But make no mistake, this girl right here has maintained a sense of jovialness about myself. I have the heart of a child. But I can be professional as fuck. I am a paramedic by trade. Yes, yes, yes. How can you have such a diverse personality and be a paramedic? Well, you know what? God made us all different flavors. The thing is that you have to know how to assert yourself. But it will still cause people to come up against you. But that's a talk for a different day. So, but at any rate, so yes, I cannot be gaslighted. I cannot be, how can you say, twisted around. Maybe in my early 20s, I made wrong choices because I let Oliver talk me into it. it was my mistake to do that. Although he was a bad influence, very bad influence. And I cut ties with him, finally gave it a clean break. And from there, he was gang stalking me really hard. And it wasn't just him. He never got his hands dirty with coming at me. He sent other people. Because back in the day, I remember whenever Oliver and I had actually shared an apartment, these people came over and broke out their cocaine. And I was like, whoa, you need to take that and go. And I always tried not to be so condescending and judgmental. So I said, you do your thing. I don't want to see any of it. I don't want anything to do with that. But you can come back. And that was my learning curve to exnay that traffic right out of your life. But incidentally, what it did to me was that it alienated me from those around me. Because he ended up having an affair with a girl that lived across the walk from us in the apartments. And she was a cocaine dealer. And she was beautiful. And she had a twin. And they sang. And they played the guitar together. They were gorgeous. But yeah, so he he was born with a silver spoon and was the black sheep of his family. And whenever he came of age, I think it was 25, he was slated to, or 24, I can't remember, may have been 23, I don't know. Anyways, to get his, not an inheritance, but whenever you become a certain age, you get some cash, okay? And then so that's what I believe he used to garner the people to do these hideous deeds to me. Gang stalk me, gaslight me, and the such. And alienated me from my coworkers. And the thing about it is that I come from a faith-filled, praying family. My mom taught me the blood of Jesus Christ and taught me my Savior. And I grew up in faith. So I grew up in strength. And I served the light. That's a big deal, serving the light, versus those who serve the darkness. So here's the deal. This is really freaky. Because one night I dreamt I stayed awake all night. And in my dream, because I stayed awake, I was able to see all the things that I was missing because I was asleep through it all. Symbolically speaking, I was asleep through all of the demonic beings, the demonic choices, and the backstabbing and treachery. So that's initially how it came to the forethought of my psyche. But the freaky part is that I learned of the gang stalking from a dream. And it didn't have a name back then that was in terms of gang stalking. What I had ascertained from that dream was the charade aspect and how the dynamic psychologically can impact somebody. And it was done real smart. And so I was like, damn, it took just a few people to do it. And it brought all of this, you know, oppression and condemnation, not condemnation, but made you feel so, and how they were able to garner people into their sick and twisted charade. It's a bunch of lies. They could use half-truths minced with lies. But the thing is that your reputation is throwing some horrible shade. And so the thing about that is that, man, people like to judge others on, you know, context of appearance. And I have a lot of respect for cookie cutters, but a lot of them don't garner respect for me because I'm an artist by nature. That alone is deemed heresy. She's a witch. She can't be right. Look how she's dressed. Even cops will be like, look how you're dressed. This here? Okay. You know, I might be fit for the club, but every day I wake up. On this side of the dirt, on this side of the pokey, it's a day for glitter. I don't need an occasion. The occasion, I woke up. And that's occasion enough. And it's cause enough to make others hate me. Imagine that. So, but at any rate, that was my induction into the gang stalking. And in another video, I'll talk about the event itself. But what I learned back then was this. Number one, whenever it was playing out, I kept that shit to myself. Because the moment that you bring attention to it was a perfect opportunity for somebody to go, are you feeling okay? Guys, did you hear what she said? I don't think she's feeling okay. And then it gives rise to the charade for others to start feeding into it. Bitch, I can see that a mile away. Game peeps game, okay? I have respect for humanity's autonomy. I do not manipulate for gain. And so I kept that shit to myself. And whenever these lovely assholes were like following me and driving and shit, what are you gonna do? Call the police? Oh, these people, they're all different and they're following me. That's what they want you to do. And I'm too way grounded for any of that. I live in the clouds, but I am very grounded. I just don't live by the norms of society because I am free to express myself. And I guess I get that from my mommy, my daddy, and from my generation. I'm an X-generation girl. Yes, I am. And I made it. And I walk amongst multiple generations. Imagine that. So, but at any rate, so in that time frame, anybody I really told this to just couldn't wrap their brain around it. They're just all like this. I love you, but and I learned to keep that shit to myself pretty quick. So back then, a lot of times they wouldn't enact any of their charades within the presence of any witness. And so I do believe they were able to garner my dad into doing some of that shit, which is sad, but I forgive him. We're all doing our best, you know? So, again, that belongs to my tale when I deconstruct those events another time. But suffice enough to say that I got schooled really hard and I had nobody to confide in any of this. I didn't even know there was a name as gang stalking. I didn't even know the term gaslighting. All I know was that I was dealing with that energy. And I was alone, and I had to dig my heels in deep and weather the storm. I'd even gone to, it's like a big game of chess. They anticipate your moves, and they go over there and knock out that before you think of it. Oh, maybe I'll go talk to a priest, you know, maybe they might listen to me. Oh my God, I went to my church, And I know they brought in their bullshit over there by, I could tell by the body language. You know, is reading body language crazy? No, it's not. It's a science, okay? And you can read body language. But the deacon I spoke with still spoke to me. Although I could just see it all over him. There was a bit of, it's not condescension, it was just kind of like an ick factor. Like, okay, you're a harlot and a Jezebel, but I'll talk to you. The love in the equation was absent, but he had enough love for me to talk to me. And oftentimes I go back and I replay that in my mind at different key points in my life. He said, imagine this one day behind you. Imagine this 1 week. And then the week turns into a month. And then the month turns into 2 months. And then one day it's 5 months behind you. And then a year. And then 5 years behind you. And I held on tight. I held on so tight to that. And then one day, it was 5 years behind me. But that walk schooled me hard. Schooled me really hard. So that's where I come at you, to you, for you, and for me, with my experience loaded in my back pocket. Yeah, I'm a badass. I survived that shit already. They couldn't take me down. And back then I was wondering what the motive was. You know, what was the motive? And you know what I really believed? I really believed they were trying to make a snuff film out of me. You know what a snuff film is? Look it up. So that was my initial experience. And enter the fold this day and age. Okay, so whenever that happened to me, I was 24. And it's happened every now and then since 24. And I am now 50. Yes, I do look this young. In person, no doubt. I am RH negative. Maybe that has something to do with it. I am of half Philippine descent. Maybe that has almost everything to do with it. But I am not a cigarette smoker. I am not an avid beer drinker. And yeah, working out is my jam. If I was stressed out in life and I didn't know what to do, guess what this girl did? She worked out. Yeah, I get stressed, I'll stop and do 20 push-ups. I shit you not. So, guess what? This? I just had a hot dog. I could roll my belly. I could roll my belly during my second pregnancy. My OB-GYN was like, whoa. Oh. When I showed him, he brought in the other two nurses and he's like, this is a practicing belly dancer. You will never see this for the rest of your career. And he showcased my abdominal strength. So at any rate, that's where I come to you in my walk of having been getting stalked and gaslighted. So if you made it through this video, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next talk. See me bubbling quiet.